Friends, today's NRI Summer program from Los Angeles brought to you commercial free by listeners like you. Your generous donations make possible for us to stay commercial free, and today's show is pre-recorded. If you have a question for the guest, please send an email to nrisummer@gmail.com. We will follow up with the guest and find the answer for you. Thank you for your support.
Friends, welcome back to NRI Summer. This is Srihari, your host for today's show. We have a very special guest with us today. His name is Jim Justus Nyamu. He has been walking thousands of miles to educate people and to bring awareness about the importance of elephants and elephants having their own tusks so they can keep them. As we know that thousands of elephants are being killed so that illegal trade of the ivory can be done. We'll be talking about these issues. Jim, welcome to NRI Samay.
Thank you so much, Siri, and thank you for giving me such an opportunity to talk to Americans.
Excellent. You are welcome. And
I'm back home in Kenya, where I have been working since February this year. I have managed to walk to over 2,500 kilometers.
Jim, sorry, could you talk a little bit louder, please?
Could I?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just louder.
Okay, I'm saying back home in Kenya, since February, I have done over 2,500 kilometers walking and talking to people, engaging them on, trying and get their views about poaching and what they think we could do to mitigate and to finish this poaching that is happening in Kenya at the moment.
I see. And, go ahead, sorry.
I came in the United States in August, where I walked from Boston to Washington, D.C. That took me 32 days walking and talking to people in colleges and universities. And it is out of that walk when I was interviewed by Good Morning America and Voice of America. That's when the Fish and Wildlife and the White House announced to crush or to destroy the 6 tons of ivory that they had. And that's how I came back in the state this Tuesday for the event that took place yesterday here in Denver, where we managed to crush 6 tons of ivory.
I see. And so they destroyed tons of ivory, right? How many tons did they destroy? Yesterday they destroyed quite a few tons.
They defeated 6 tons.
6 tons of ivory were destroyed in Denver, right?
Yeah, 6 tons, yes.
And was this part of your campaign that you were trying to get this done?
Yeah, what my message has been, one, America is the second leading consumer on ivory. And we have been asking even Kenya and other countries to do the same by, destroying or crushing is one way of saying no to the ivory trade. So it is good that the Americans have shown this first, and this is going to remind us of what happened in 1988 when the then President of America was the first one to announce the international ban on ivory. And this is followed by Kenya 1989 when the then President banned 12 tons of ivory that happened in 1989. So this is going to be a very good beginning again for other countries to follow suit and also engage in crushing or destroying what they have.
I see. And so the 6 tons ivory is crushed, and how much more illegal ivory is in the United States?
I'm not very sure, but I think it should be more than that, 6 tons, because, the people that I talk to along the West Coast, the East Coast, most of them had no idea about the America is the second leading consumer, and most people indicated that they don't know, they have never seen ivory. me, when I worked in New York, I was able to see ivory in those shops in New York. So I tend to think it's more than the 6 tons that we saw yesterday. America could be having more than that, but I'm not very sure because they indicated that that is what the Fish and Wildlife were able to confiscate, and that was in their possession. That means if they have time, like what I'm requesting the Kenyan government, to have 2 months of amnesty by asking people to return the ivory that they possess, and then after that they can ban. I'm sure if America were given such an opportunity like that, we could be having more than 6 tons.
I see. Before we talk more about the illegal trade and what you are trying to do now, could you tell us the importance of having elephants and how the ivory or the tusk of the elephant is important for its livelihood, for its life?
Okay. My message has been ivory belongs to elephant campaign. That means the ivory are better fitted on elephants. And ivory help elephants, or that the tusk help elephants to, it's part of, it's actually their teeth, only that they are not inside. And this time they don't help elephant to crash, but they help elephant to, when the elephants want to get some minerals, so ivory helps them to break soils and also to break some trees and to debug some trees where they will be able to get some bark that helps them to get minerals. So African elephants, all of them, they have the tusk. And they are very important on them because it is part of their adaptations. If we remove them from the elephant, in this case, we are denying elephant one of the very important organs. Unlike in Asia where most of the elephants there do not have tusk, but their adaptation allow them to stay without tusk. So we cannot be able to say that we can have African elephants without tusk. Without tusk, that's a dead animal.
Right, and even they're killing the Asian elephants also, right?
Yeah, them that have the ivory, they are also facing this poaching, but not like what is happening in Africa. Africa is worse hit because most of the 100% of the elephants, they have ivory.
I see. And could you explain how this illegal poaching happens? How do the human beings, they extract the ivory from the elephants, and then could you tell that process? Do they capture the elephant and then, or do they kill the elephant and then they cut the ivory?
This poaching is done in a different way. There is now the one people who are using the guns to kill the elephants, and there are others who are using, they are poisoning the elephants using the pumpkins or watermelons, and there are others who are using some other crooked method of the poison arrow, and others are using the piece of, they cut the piece of wood that has some nails, and an elephant will just step on the piece of wood, and the wood becomes septic, and the elephant cannot be able to walk. So there are many ways of killing the elephants, but at the moment we are experiencing, like in Zimbabwe and part of the Southern African, they're using poison. Then you go to Kenya. Kenya don't have much of the poison, but we have more of the gun, and we have more of the crooked method using the arrow, the poisoned arrow. And also in Tanzania, they combine all of them. But you find, like in Kenya, about 78% of the poaching instances happen outside the protected areas. But you find the 12% of the elephant that would die inside the park, but they would have been injured outside the park.
I see. So they are being injected outside the park, and they're taken to the park?
Yeah, they would now walk in the park because they know in the park that's where there is security. So they would walk in and get getting the security, but they would die even before they are attended.
I see.
Yeah.
So could you tell some information about how many elephants were there and now how they are declining right now, and what is the forecast?
Okay, Kenya 1979, we had 167,000 elephants. In 1989, 10 years, we were only left with 16,000 elephants. It's from 1989 when Kenya Wildlife Service was established from the Wildlife Management Department. And we've seen the population of elephants increasing from then. And we are talking about today, we have about 30,000 elephants, to be precise, in Kenya. But at the rate at which they're dying, we are losing 3 elephants per day. And looking at our population, we only give ourselves maybe less than 15 years, and there'll be no elephants. At the moment, this year alone, over 400 elephants have been killed. You're talking of about 450 elephants have been killed this year alone. In other countries like Tanzania, where they had 140,000 4 years ago, and now you're talking about 95,000 elephants remaining. So, I mean, the country like Tanzania, like Uganda, which is our neighbor, they are now left with 2,000 elephants at the moment. And they owing to the fact that there is a cross-border, elephant moving from Tanzania and Kenya, that is going to escalate because the 3 countries have been grouped together by the CITES as the gang of 8, the 3 worst countries to be in Africa where poaching is done. So it's going to be a very bad incident if the 3 countries are not going to work together because of the, they share the same problem of poaching, and the elephant also share the same ecosystem. In Africa at large, we are talking about less than 500 elephants at the moment. In some countries like Eritrea, like Senegal, they are now nearly losing their population completely. Other countries like Somalia, they have lost their elephants entirely.
Okay, I'm sorry. How many did you say in entire Africa right now?
In Africa, we have less than 500 elephants. Actually, to be precise, we have 450,000 elephants.
Oh, 500,000 elephants, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And for Africans, how are elephants part of their life? How do they, are they part of the culture of the people who live there?
Sorry?
Are elephants part of the people's culture in Africa, and are they domesticated?
No, in Africa we only have wild elephants. We don't have domesticated elephants.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And okay, let's see. So when you are traveling in United States, mainly who are you meeting with, and how is the response so far?
When I was working and I would visit schools, I would talk to the universities, colleges. I would also talk to the group of people organized by my host. And the response in the beginning was like, why are you working in America? Why don't you work in Africa where there is, elephants are being killed every day? And what I realized is that most of the Americans could not see the relationship between the Americans and the African problem. That means the elephant issues in Africa. But after bringing how Americans should be very concerned about that, like looking at the aspect of the humanity, elephants represent humans. So, and then aspect of where the kids in America, they learn letter A, B, C, D, E for elephants. They could see the relationship. Also, looking at the aspect of America being the second consumer on Ivory. So they should be bothered about what is happening. The response was becoming positive as time goes, and I was very encouraged by that.
Friends, NRI Summer is a non-profit independent alternate media from Los Angeles, USA, which brings positive stories from grassroots activists from all corners of India and across the world. If you have any interesting episode you would like NRI Samay to cover, we will be happy to do so. NRI Samay would also like to encourage amateur journalists, who have a flair for highlighting current events. You can be part of our citizen journalist team. You could cover an important event, interview victims of an atrocity, or document an inspirational story. The idea is to have a mix of experience throughout all parts of the world, preferably supported by an audio or a video clip of your story to be aired, which will be the curtain raiser. You can also submit your opinion articles on important topics to NRI Summer. We will be happy to put it on nrisummer.com in the opinion section. All your work will be credited only to you. And if you're interested, please send an email to nrisummer@gmail.com.
Okay, when you say the response has been positive, are the people saying they will not purchase ivory, or what is that?
They are now informed, and they wish they have opportunity on how to educate more and more. And some are like, we didn't see how we should be concerned and how we should be bothered by what by what is happening in Africa. So they felt that my work and my presence in them was positive because it helps them to get more information.
I see. And have you met any senators or anybody in Washington?
Yeah, I met the Senator Barrett of Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
I met a couple of mayor in those cities, like in New York, New Jersey. Even also in Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
Then down in the state, in Washington D.C., I also met the members of the Congress, the caucus, that is the ICCF, and also the USID, the WWF, the IFEW, and the Nature Conservancy, among other institutions that are working with conservation.
I see. And you are saying the response so far has been positive?
Yeah, it has been positive, and people now begin appreciating why Africa should be concerned. Africans should be concerned about their resources that they have.
You mentioned America is the second largest consumer, right? So who is the first?
China seems to be the leading, and then America, and then Europeans seem to be taking that position.
I see. And most of this, is it illegal ivory?
Yeah, all of ivory is illegal in all the countries.
Oh, there is no legal ivory, is what you're saying?
Yeah. The ban still stands, only that it was lifted temporarily for 4 countries in Africa, but the sale of ivory still stands illegal.
I see. Even if the elephant is dead for natural causes, it is still illegal to take that ivory and sell it. Is that right?
Yeah. If an elephant dies naturally, you just remove the tusk and keep it and take it to the store.
I see. Great.
Yeah.
So, what is the rest of your tour in United States? How long are you here? What is the plan for the remaining days?
I had come back here because of the crushing ceremony that took place yesterday. So I'm planning to go back home next week to continue with the campaign by engaging the local people, engaging schools, and engaging the senators in the country, and also the governors in the country, as I look forward to do the work next year from Kampala in Uganda, Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, and finished in Nairobi.
I see. Wow. So that's a lot of miles, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'll have to walk about 1,200 miles in the 3 countries.
So far, you walked 2,500 kilometers in Africa. How much did you walk in United States?
In United States, I did 560 miles.
560 miles. And in how much time?
It took me 32 days.
How many days?
32 days.
32 days?
Yes.
I see. You walk pretty fast, I think, right?
No. Okay, not really. I don't know. I was doing 25 miles per day.
And then you are meeting people, then you are giving speeches and all that stuff.
Yeah, I would meet people, and some would work with me, and then I would also, being engaged in schools and also in those conservation organizations like marine, like fish and wildlife offices in Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting institutions, the people who are doing planning for me would help me to get, people to talk to all the time.
I see. So there are people who are joining you within these walks, and then there are people joining you for the speeches and all that.
Yeah, there were people who were helping me to. Some would work with me. They would choose to work with me like maybe 5 miles, 20 miles, something like that.
Okay. And who is the organization that's arranging all this in the United States?
Who is there?
Who is the organization that is helping you here?
I had friends with me, which you can check on Ivory belongs to elephant to walk.com. I only had friends who came on board, and then few institutions like IFEW, WWF also came on board to support me.
I see. Excellent. This is amazing work you are doing. But I have to ask you, I'm just curious, how do you, walking so many miles, it's not easy task, right? How do you keep yourself healthy and then you're able to walk thousands of miles?
I'll really justify that for the last 16 years I've been working for elephants in Africa. Most of the time I've been working in the field, counting elephants, and I've spent more time in the forest. So I think generally I'm a good walker,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So only that now here I'm walking with a purpose and with a cause. So, and what drives me is the way I talk to people, and they seem to they get informed, and looking at how people are not informed give me an encouragement that I should walk to other people and encourage more people to be involved in this campaign.
I see. And was there any instance that motivated you to take up this cause for the elephant, or is it just from general education?
Generally, I have, as I said, I've been working. I'm a scientist, I'm a biologist working with the government sometimes back, and I was looking at it like how we scientists we seem to be in a different boat or different direction with the communities. So I decided that let me just begin engaging communities on how we can help the government to solve this problem. So what motivated me was lack of information but to communities, and I decided let me just, pull outside and be on the side of community by bringing them closer to the government.
Yeah, in general, a scientist is somebody who is probably working in a lab and not so much, just gathering people, right? So you probably shifted from a scientist to an activist.
Yes.
I see. Excellent. Very, very informative. And so, for the listeners, what is that you want to say? How do the listeners can help this cause if anybody is interested?
No, for the listeners and for people who would want to support me, there are two things. One, they need to be informed. They need first of all to know what is happening. Once they get informed, then they can help me. I will not tell them to work with me, but they can support me by talking to other people, because my work is walk and talk. And they can also check on my Facebook account, which is Elephant Neighbors Center, and they can learn more and see the people that are also supporting me, because I'll also be doing another work in West Coast next year, because I feel that I also need to enlighten more Americans. So they can still join me in a campaign on social media. Again, Elephant Neighbor Center is my Facebook. And once they get informed, they can help me to walk the talk by talking to their neighbors, by talking to their friends, by talking to their congressmen, talking to everyone on how important it is for us to be part and parcel of helping these iconic species from before we talk about the elephant being extinct.
I see. And so the Facebook page is Elephant Neighbors Center, right?
Center, yes.
I see there is a group also. So is it a group or a page?
It's a page. It's actually, sorry, it's a group. It's basically a group, but we are making it now it's actually becoming a page now, and people can like and people can learn more about what is happening.
Nice, excellent. So you are saying anybody who is interested learn about this. I think they can either go to Elephants Neighbor Center on the Facebook, or also I think I saw a page which you also mentioned earlier. Is that Ivory belongs to elephant.com? Is that the one?
Yeah, Ivory belongs to Elephant Walk.
Elephant Walk.
That's the page. That's a website. Yes.
I see. There is a lot of information there also. So friends, those are the two ways you can do. And then once you educate, once you understand the issue, then you can contact Jim also. I saw him responding to Facebook messages, so you can always contact him. Jim, before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, what I want to say is that if we lose elephants, we might think we are losing elephants, but we are losing all the animals. Elephant is a keystone species, and so if we conserve the elephants, we will be saying that we are conserving all the elephants. If we lose elephants, we are losing all the animals. And it is our responsibility as a human being to take care of what we were given and to make it more, comfortable than we are. And looking at what is ahead of us, our generation will need these animals. It's going to be very bad for us in our generation when these animals are going to be extinct. And I believe all is not lost, and I believe we can make a change.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. I know you are very busy in United States, walking thousands of miles and also educating people. And I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule and spending this valuable information with us.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Friends, if you liked today's show, please go to youtube.com/NRI Samay and click on the subscribe button. You will get notified every time we publish a new show. And you can also like us on our social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Google+.